Minutes to start. All 3 circles now. Please start clearing the area. We're with 5 minutes to start. Please catch the last ones. Come in or pedal around the field. Ladies, this is the round of 32. We'll be running this 30 minutes. And giving you a 2-minute turnaround this morning. If one, feel free to pedal out, inviting Pierrot, Gabriel Denis, William Lacombe, or Laura Copiella. We're within 5 minutes to start.
And a very good morning and welcome to a beautiful morning live at Caparica Beach in Portugal. Is of course the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest. We're rolling on through the days here and it's time to say good morning and bom dia. I'm Paul Evans to Mr. Ben Mundy alongside me.
Good morning, Paul. Yeah, you know it's going to be a good day today. Just the crystal clear sky, the pink morning, the offshore winds, let's call them small waves. But just knew it's going to be a lovely, lovely day today.
Yep, and so we've had a call early on, 6:45 for our women's event. It looks like we're good to go, Ben.
Yeah, we're on, most definitely. We're going to start this event pretty sharpish at 7 o'clock. But before then, might look at a few highlights from the last couple of days' action.
Some highlights from yesterday, small waves at Caparica, and yet some big performances going down. As we saw clean conditions in the morning, and people like Goni Zubizarreta getting down to business.
Yeah, Goni was impressive, had a bit of a slow start. That man, Vicente Romero, one of the highest wave scores of the day. Yeah, there was so much, you know, it was small, obviously, as you can see by the footage, but there was some big scores and some high quality surfing action and a lot of fun to be had on the beach as well.
Yeah, it was some big performances going down in those small waves. Blanco looked good, didn't he? And Nikritin out of Israel as well, just ripping his way through that mid-morning period.
Yeah, there was some, oh, look at that action. That looks like a beautiful point break. It was just a little peach right on the beach, and there was some blowing up there. There was so many sort of waves ridden per heat, and there was some big sort of stomps. Even though it was small, as you can see, there was some fins getting blasted out the back. And this man,
Sammy Peter.
I missed that heat, but I heard he was on fire.
That was good, mate.
And there's the Caparica beachscapes. there's the beautiful, beautiful lighthouse in the middle of the Lisbon River, and it's just got that feeling that's going to warm up today, Paul. It's going to be hot, smoky, and lovely, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd probably still say that this time of the morning is my favourite time of the day, Ben. I wouldn't miss it for anything. If our call was maybe a couple of hours later, I'd probably still come down anyway.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Check out the scene.
For it was like 6 o'clock call.
Could have been a bit earlier, I thought.
I had a talk, yeah, go for a quick dip, freshen up. And the water's, you know, it's a bit cold, but it just, yeah, a bit of energy through the bones. Yeah. And the girls are ready. When we came down, we walked down here at 6:30 in the morning, and there was just like all the girls women had a free surf. They were psyching up. Big day for them in the round of 24. So it was all apparent that it was on. But to get clarification, we might go down to the beach to see Joanna with the contest director.
Yeah, I'm with Hugo Pinheiro. Good morning, Hugo.
Morning.
The one that's responsible for this early call. What do you have to say for yourself?
Sorry about it first. So it's pretty early, 6:40, 6:55 now. So we're gonna start at 7 o'clock. Looks like pretty clean, and the ladies in the free surf, they enjoy a lot. So it was the feedback that they passed me. So yeah, today it's gonna run. We're gonna start with the 32 run. Rounds, and then for the 16, and we have like pretty small but clean conditions, so hopefully they will get fun. It will be a great show for today.
And are we definitely going into the round of 16?
Hopefully. Let's see what's going to happen with the tide come up. The waves probably going to slow a lot, but we still have chance to do more afternoon, so let's see. Yeah.
Okay, good call. He knows what he's talking about. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joanna. Hugo Pinheiro, our contest director, bodyboard legend, a man who knows this peak like as well as he knows anything else, Ben.
He doesn't strike me as a guy that gets particularly ruffled by anything. He's just kind of cool, calm, whether it's a 12-foot, slab charging, behind the curtain, or just calling an event on at 5:45 in the morning.
All right.
Whatever works best.
Four surfers out in the water: Vahina Fierro, Gabriela Diniz, Juliette Lecombe, Laura Coviella. So good representation from across our European region. Of course, Laura from the Canary Isles. And Vahina Fierro hailing all the way from the South Pacific. And it doesn't look too much like some of the famous waves over in that part of the world this morning. It looks like a pretty small beach break, but there are a couple out there, Mandy.
Yeah, there's little waves for sure. As Hugo said, they've been out there free surfing. We're pretty happy with it. Even yesterday, it was a bit slow, but there's just enough, definitely enough opportunity. So often in a heat, we'd see 4, 5 waves ridden each, minimum by each competitor, so we should be okay. But yeah, as Hugo said, he'll keep a close eye on it. Yeah, Vahina Fierro, she's been getting some big barrels over there in Chopu, but like a lot of those Tahitians that have come across us in Carly Vast and Aliana Vast, doesn't matter, 2 foot to 20 foot, they are ready for battle, and she'll be out there. She'll be the favourite. She's got a lot of pedigree. She's had some big results, World Junior titles. So Vahina with the scalp. But not tricky conditions like this, it's kind of anything is possible.
Having been in town for a few days now, Ben, obviously it's not your first trip here, but this one's been sort of I think it's fair to say you've been on a journey of sort of personal discovery and growth. What are some of your takeaways so far from your time you spent in Costa Caparica?
That it's brilliant, that you can get great waves, great food. I would just obviously choose different company if I was to come down next time. I would come down with my friends and family, not my work colleagues. But apart from that, I found it just to be the vibe of the place. It's hard to put it's hard to vocalise what a vibe is, but this place has got a real sort of laid-back vibe. Beach bars, imagine sort of a mix of beach bars and fun times. And I've been loving it. Obviously, there's the nature aspect. You've got the obviously we work hard. We work probably harder than most people in the surf industry right now. Yeah, but in the evening, especially the weather we've been having, the sunset have been off the scale. I can guarantee the clouds depart, the wind to drop off, The sunsets over the Atlantic have been amazing. Washed down with I'm not going to say it, I've had a couple of Estrellas, a couple of Estrella Galicias after work because it's great. And basically, I mean, I may never leave. I don't know if that's going to be a bit of a surprise to the wife and the kids, but I might as well tell them on the webcast as anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a good place to make an announcement, mate. Good for you. So Mundy thinking of setting himself up in a little beach hut down the beach here at Caparica, and just really living out the rest of his days in fine style. Good looking next heat there. Mendes, Hopkins, Vast, Leciaga.
Yeah, been a lot of talk about Yolanda Hopkins. She's been surfing well in the free surfing and looking good. Had some good results back in Portugal.
She's been ripping.
Yeah,
just yesterday I remember our co-commentator Francisco Alves was saying that he saw her ripping. She's looking like she's in really good form.
Yeah. She's waited a while for this. She's lives not far from here on the same stretch of coast, a bit further south, so knows the ways very well. There,
She looks confident.
And so she's one to watch for sure. And already in the morning down here at 7 o'clock, the crowd's starting to gather safely, obviously.
Yes, in a social distanced fashion.
Yeah, of course. And it's they're all grouped together. No sets as yet. Priorities coming through. But this girl's waiting to pull the trigger on this.
Yeah. What's happening over in Western Australia, Ben? There's a surfing event,
Well,
isn't
Gabriel Medina is in the water right now. I didn't want to try and distract viewers from the action here in the water.
Yep.
But yep, Gabriel Medina is surfing right now. I heard Philippe Toledo got knocked out by Liam O'Brien, so that was a bit of a boil over in the Rottnest Search. So yeah, live surf action all over the world. The CT event going on in West Australia. This is a qualifying series event, but all these girls will want to one day. That's the dream pool. Get onto that CT, get onto the elite level tour. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start qualifying, getting through the ranks, and it's all these little events all around the world where those big dreams can start to happen.
Yeah, getting on the Dream Tour is okay, but hanging around on the QS for a few seasons is actually a pretty good plan, I reckon. Sometimes it's good just to, you don't always have to gun for the top. Sort of gun for the middle, the lower middle. Stay on the QS. No?
That could be your epitaph, some might say. Yeah, for sure. I mean, a life on the QS is a good life, don't get me wrong, but if you want to dream bigger, the CT is the elite level of sport. That drone view just showing how those piers break up the sand, create these little triangular sandbanks, and geez, it looks lovely, doesn't it? Perfect for a little run down the beach in the morning and a swim, I would say. There's a light offshore. Often we get the land cooling overnight, and it just starts to, a lot of offshores in the morning, and then the sea breeze does pick up as it gets bigger.
Gabriela Diniz in the blue with a hit off the top, and that will avoid a restart because we were getting away with no waves ridden for about 7 minutes there. Gabriela Diniz opens up the account with something in the range of a 1, possibly slightly lower, to get things underway. And we're up and going here, Mundy.
Yeah, never a massive fan of the restart. Always just feels a bit like, when I get they haven't ridden a wave in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but I reckon, so what? Time's a time limit's a time limit. And lucky Gabrielle Diniz, she got the ball rolling. There's a drone view of the Caparica town centre, where all the sort of some big hotels, plenty of accommodation. And then, stretching further south, start to see a bit less of the sort of high density accommodation, starts to flatten out, and then gets down to the nature reserve that runs along this escarpment all the way down to the estuary about 30,
I was wondering when you were going to mention
south.
the escarpment.
I love the escarpment.
You waited a little bit today. Normally it comes in earlier, doesn't it?
Well, I think the escarpment is what gives this place its sort of special vibe I was talking about.
Right.
The flat plain in front of it. and it's just, yeah, we had to run along this little stretch, probably traveling faster than this drone. I was pretty quick, but yeah, it's just a long sandy beach that stretches all the way south down to the very southern tip of the Portugal coast before it bends around into the Algarve and then eventually down there into the Mediterranean. But yeah, it is a pretty special part of the coast. And I mean, we're looking south here, but if we were just, if we were to pan north, you'd see the Lisbon, which is just on the other side. So that coastline is pretty special, protected and beautiful, and it's got great waves. So yeah, it's a special place, Paul.
Beautiful views here this morning at Caparica as we reconvene for women's competition. 4 of them out on the water. Not a whole lot of action bringing you thus far with nearly 10 minutes gone. It's a 2:17 for our Portuguese surfer Gabriela Diniz. And she leads it out at the moment.
And there we go, looking to the north, to the cityscape of Lisbon. That's the lighthouse navigational fortitude place that sort of has guarded Lisbon for centuries. Our co-commentator Patrocino said that back in the days you used to be able to walk out to that on the special big moon low tides, and there's a chapel there, so you could have the church service out there in the middle, walk out, wade out to the chapel, and have a Sunday service, which would be pretty special. I think some of the different movement of the water now means that's impossible. You can't walk out there. You have to get a jet ski out there.
It's now been converted for a devil worshipping pit.
No, I wouldn't say that. It's just that you can't walk out there, but you can get a jet ski out there for the chapel service. And of course, the water safety still here, even though it's small. They're always on call, always watching, always ready to jump into action.
Yeah, beautiful scenes from around in Caparica. Let's take a look at the view from the skies. We sent one of our co-commentators up with our contest director to have a look around.
So we are at Lisbon Helicopters this afternoon to have a close look to the event site, how the waves are there. And with me, I have a good company with Pinheiro, one of the best bodyboarders from Costa. He's going to be with me looking at our home.
Now we're heading to the com site to see it up close and to fly a little bit around Caparica.
About like 20 kilometers beach, and in the north is like waves are bigger, we go south, waves are smaller. So when there's a big swell in Costa, over in the main site, we drive down there. Actually, I can see my house from here. It's really close to the beach. There's the competition area over there. Basically, these beach flags, left, right, all over. 10 years old, learned here to surf. Yeah, Hugo has always been an inspiration for Costa. He's one of the best bodyboarders we have in Portugal and around Europe, of course. But yeah, Hugo has been the guy. Our spot. You only can come here with a jet ski. So yeah, that's Lisbon over there. Caparica is just around the corner, so it's really close. The only thing that separates north from south is this beautiful bridge. So yeah, but at the same time, it's so close to everyone that is working, and lunchtime they just go for a quick surf, and that's it.
That's Costa de Caparica, event site, beaches, fun, wine, food. We've got everything.
Great scenes there from the sky over beautiful Costa de Caparica. And what a way to check out your town. Have a little look at the sandbars, see what's going on. As we see live action here, Corviella, the Spaniards. And she's got some speed through to an inside section, which will get a nice little finish with a vertical hit on the end. And a good way to open things up for Laura.
Yeah, that was a nice left-hander into that pier. My favourite part of that little clip there was when Hugo said, "There's our secret spot," and the camera just panned straight to it, as if letting go all the secrets. But yeah, Corviella getting started on his second wave ridden. Oh, I think Faheen Fierro's got a wave. So the third wave ridden of the heat so far. Gets the end section in. The turns before that end section were a little bit sticky, but here we go. I think it's starting to warm up. Lacombe.
Goes Juliette. Nice little rail jam from her. And she'll finish up as well. So waves on the board for everybody now. And scores will be dropping shortly. Let's get another look.
It's a good carve, this. A lot of speed. Just as she opened up. Really good wrap. Unfortunately for Juliette, there wasn't much more after that. And this is Fierro, the Tahitian. A bit of open space. And she can't make the move. So just looking around. Waiting and waiting. And we're going to see a bit of that today. It just breaks out the back and then you have to pump through the dead section sometimes to get just a little turn like that, which I'm not sure is always worth it, but you've got to try. So Fierro starting off her campaign, her Caparican campaign with that wave. Just a little bit of swell, as of like yesterday. I think the direction today's a little bit more west, I think, which is helpful, and means there's some little wave as Lacombe just gets held up again. So it looks like a carbon copy of yesterday in terms of swell and conditions, Paul. Would you say it was fairly similar to this yesterday morning? And we were a little bit worried about the number of waves, but as the day progressed, it just got better and better.
Yeah, it does look similar to yesterday.
In a good way.
Yeah, really pretty small. Let's hope everyone gets some opportunities. So far this morning, it does feel a little bit soft, doesn't it? So it's all about the person that can find the sets, or even maybe the set during this half an hour, which we've lost half of already inside the latter part of the heats. In the early running so far, looks like Vahina Fierro is weak to schools to come in, but looks like she got a 4-5 for her opening effort. Other than that, not much big scoreboard news. Although we do have a couple of ways of Juliette Lacombe coming actually. 4 in for Laura Corviella. So judges taking their time this morning, making sure they get this right. It's going to be probably quite small margins in it, Ben.
Yes, I would say it's a day of small margins. Not, it's going to take. I mean, the judges did a good job yesterday of actually differentiating between the scores and setting the scale so that there were still 8-point rides, even though the waves were small. They adjusted the scale accordingly. So yeah, but you got to do a couple of turns to get some points, but there's going to be many clutch heats as we saw yesterday, coming down to the wire, and it could be a single turn. If you fall off, you're out. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty tight between all these surfers in marginal conditions.
We're bringing in our top seeds today, Ben. Who are you most looking forward to seeing ripping down here this morning?
It's Hopkins. Got a lot of time for her surfing and see Lacombe live action.
Ripping away across the left-hander with a little flick of a redirect on the inside. That'll be it for Juliette. She's got some scores. She's already got a 4-2-3.
I think she looks pretty sharp at the moment, Juliette. Good turns there, bit of spray. She's up there from the Biarritz in the southwest of France, or the French Basque Country. Sort of had I wouldn't say hype about her over the years, but she's always been in the public eye in terms of a promising emerging French talent. And I think she's on point. This Tahitian too has had a profile, but she just can't get around that corner. So scores starting to come in. I think Lacombe might have got the one of the better waves of the heat so far.
Yeah, looking down that list, Ben, some of our big seeds coming in. Obviously, we've got a past winner in the form of Pauline Nadeau as well.
Yeah, it'd be hard to go past Pauline Nadeau. She's won here before. She's the most experienced surfer in the event. CT campaigner. Sort of grown up in the Yonglette kind of sort of pier jetty type beach break scene. So
We're
she
gonna
knows these waves well. So yeah,
Quick
I'm looking forward to
commercial
that.
break. Join us for more live action from Caparica right after this.
Almada, território de muitos.
The ocean gives me so much. It makes me who I am. I sign to treat the ocean with the respect that it deserves and do my part.
And a warm welcome back to the beach. Beautiful morning in Caparica. Good numbers in now for one of our French surfers, Juliette Lacombe. She's dropped to 617. That's a big number. And she'll be pleased with getting that work done and getting scores on the board. Also, Vahina Fierro's got a 517 as well. So things shaping up now with that 1-2. Laura Coviella has just ridden the one wave. Gabrielle Dini's a couple of small numbers for her so far this morning. Carolina Mendez getting ready. Always an intense competitor, great surfer. Got a tough heat though.
Yeah, Aliana Vast. I'm really been enjoying. I think the Tahitian little gang, the little posse over there, growing up in Tahiti. That's Carolina Mendez, but Vahine Fierro, the Aliana Vast coming up next. We saw Carly Vast ripping up in Santa Cruz in the men's division. I just think that's a little posse that are going to be quite influential in surfing over the next sort of decade. I think they've grown up in those huge barrels of Chopu and are ridiculously comfortable in that. But they've also come over to France and surf the little beaches. They get trained by the best. And Fierro here. So they've just got the mix, as you see, both the skill sets and just finishes it off. So a mix of high class, or one of the world's heaviest, best beach reef breaks in the world, mixed with a bit of good old school French beach break coaching. The top, you know, all the backing of the French Surf Federation, all the backing of the sponsors, a lot of time over in Europe. So in that little sort of intense competitive zone. And so I think the mix means that some of those Tahitians coming out here are going to be really, really good.
What's it looking this morning, Ben?
Yeah, pretty strong. Let's look at the WSL_QS. As we see, split peak.
Coviella on the left-hand option. She kind of leans her way across the shiny opening part. And she'll get a little hit in on the end. That will count for her. It's the second wave. Going to the top two. Didn't get a great deal of work done. And I think we had, was it Gabriella went, the split the peak went right.
Yeah, exactly. Gabriella has had a bit of a slow sort of heat after that one wave, 2.17. So yeah, those two splitting the peak. As we see Laura going to the left, just waiting for the end section. And there she goes, finishes it off. Sort of pretty safe. And then on the same wave on the right, just, oh, that's a better turn from Gabriella in the pocket. And then another one trying to hit the lip. It's so clean and glassy, the conditions right now. The classic, not a drop of out of place, but there is quite a bit of sort of water out of place here. It's quite small waves, but yeah, I think Gabriella probably got the better of that exchange, and we've got some scores for Vahine Fierro, 5.17 and a 4.5, and that last wave of Lacombe on her backhand at 6.17. So the two French-speaking natives are out in front and looking pretty strong in this heat.
7 to go in our opening heat of the morning. Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest. And I mean, you know, fest is just obviously a name, but it really does feel like a real festival atmosphere around and about. But in part the fact that, you know, Portugal, just like many places, just opening up. But it really is a really welcoming place, and we are loving our time here, as is Gabriela Denise, Portuguesa, as she tries to keep that board swinging on a good looking left on the inside. A couple of little slashes and clips from her, and she'll finish off as well. She's into this now.
When she had the name Denise, it always reminds me of that good old, you know, that great song, Denise. And that, funny enough, never heard that song. Oh, it's a brilliant Northern Soul track. And actually on the Twitter account, we've got Doug from Dubbo, and he's saying he's enjoying the coverage. He just sings.
Is there a butt coming here? I feel like there's a butt coming.
He said. He said, but in terms of adding some energy to it, he said in the T20 cricket, the batsmen can choose their songs to walk out to. And he's thinking, is there an opportunity for the surfers to sort of play their own songs as they paddle out, or when they? He's saying even when they get away, when they stand up, their song starts blaring out. Do you think that's something we could add to surfing? I mean, he's asking whether that's an innovation that might be incorporated, I suppose, is what Doug's saying, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
What would you paddle out to if you could choose your own song?
Probably...
every time you stood up, it blares out.
Probably something by Roxette.
You got the look.
Probably got the look. I mean, they got a few tracks, either them or Ace of Base. You know, it's one of those two, isn't it? Your sort of Swedish rock pop. How about you, Ben?
Well, if I was forced into a Swedish rock pop sort of corner, I would go Robin. I would go dancing on my own every single day of the week, and that would be. That's one of the great pop tracks of all time, and I have often danced on my own. So yeah, I might do that. But then you know, if I was to mix it up, a bit of Slim Dusty, Pub with No Beer, one of the great tracks when you want to sit up. It would also mean a bit more. You need a full-time sort of surf DJ, so every surfer would have to have their own song. Every time they paddle, you'd have to press play. But I'd be down with that.
Or you could just, as you send in your application, just send the MP3 to Rob Gunning.
Yeah. Okay. Just confirming, is that the original cover by the Supremes?
Sprout again, is it? Let's see how this is shaping up. It's our recap. Vahine Fierro's done well, and she's ripped away to a second place so far in bright morning sunshine, Ben.
Is that the version by the Supremes or the new metal band from Sweden? Yeah, Vahine Fierro has been pretty strong. 5.17 and 4.5. That was the first wave of the day. She's always relaxed, but I've been impressed with her comp. I think she's got a bit more spice in the surfing. Over the last year, I haven't seen her surf in the competitive singlet in a while, and I've been following her career. But yeah, I think she looks sharp. Just look at that, some big turn, not massive turns, but good technique, some spray, and looks like she's going well. It's actually a good topic though on the Twitter how the QS is obviously as a model works. It's an impressive sort of format. You've got some of the greatest surfers in the world. Competition sort of 2x2 works, but the innovation sort of element. How can we?
That's the cutting edge, mate.
Yeah, but I suppose the Twitter topic I would say out there is how can we little additions just to even improve on what is a great model.
How can we improve on near perfection?
Yeah. How do we get over? Yeah, exactly. And so if you've got any tweets out there about those type of things, we'd willingly grab them.
Vahine Fierro looking to improve on her situation with a good right-hander, and it'll be a couple of swings for her, and then she'll decide that's enough. Coviella wants to get out of that third place. She quite fancies a spot in the top two in order to get there. She's going to need a 5.6. Ooh, there's a nice stab from her, pushing hard, but alas, unsuccessfully.
Yeah, I think Laura's been sticking to that same kind of lefts, doing the same type of turns. That last one actually had a bit of point of difference. A bit of verticalness to it, but she fell off unfortunately. paddles back out. 2 minutes on the clock. It's gone fast, that, hasn't it, Paul? That first 28 minutes kind of flew by, and plenty more action after this. As we say, we're going to keep on rolling. Yolanda Hopkins, classic swallowtail. She's done the hard work beforehand. Checks in with the coach. Yep, got the plan. 90-second paddle out, and she is in there. Great to see these women finally getting their competitive singlet back on after a long time out of the water. See the Laliors just limbering up. She's got the tennis ball. She's got a left throw, right throw. She's got a good hand-eye coordination. That's a Nat Laylor in the back, her sister Noah, also in this round. So they'll be strong. And we see Denise.
Gabriella trying hard to get something going. She doesn't want to be in fourth. She's going to stay there as we'll go inside the final minute in this one. And it's not been a scintillating encounter in terms of action. Not been a lot of waves really on offer. Been a couple of opportunities come through, but not blessed with waves throughout this one. Long lulls. I think that might be the way it goes down today. We saw that yesterday all day. Did see some big performances. It's all about making the most of those opportunities at the moment. Lacombe, Fierro. Those are the two surfers that have done that, Ben, with just 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, a bit of class above, I would say. Just got that little spark in their surfing. Just a little bit more kind of spice, and it's paid off here. There wasn't any real jeopardy in terms of third and fourth place, trying to get close to the score. You know, it's been a pretty sort of functional performance. But Lacombe and Fierro, two of the sort of more fancied seeds in the event, progressing through as we roll on through to the next round, next heat, sorry. So, yeah, well done, job done. Early start, they've got the rest of the day off, potentially. They'll come back and wait for the call for the next round. But, yeah, they'll be happy with their performances, Paul. You happy with yours?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to wrap things up for our first heat of competition. We'll go to commercial break. Join us for more live action from Costa de Caparica Surf Fest. Coming at you live from the beach right after this.
Prepara os teus sentidos, porque vais despertar. Vais ser o primeiro a ouvir, o primeiro a olhar e a tocar. Tu vais ser o primeiro a inspirar e a provar esta nova realidade antes de todos. Agora, primeiro. 5G, vais sentir.
Can I change my answer?
And I wish we could take that one back.
Trestles is the perfect place.
Fair point, but I'm going to disagree. It's not a real power surfing wave.
I'm going to throw your power out the window. Watch the hottest debate in surfing only on worldsurfleague.com.
And welcome back to the Costa de Caparica, the stretch of coast just south of Lisbon. We are here for the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest into round number two. Sorry, heat number two of the women's event. We just had our first heat, Vienna Fierro, Juliet Lacombe through, but there's more live action. Straight into it. Let's see Carolina Mendez. She's always on the money here. She's known for her power surfing. She's known for a low center of gravity, I would say, and had some great performances last time we saw her in the competitive zone in the lockdown event, or the countdown event series in Portugal, and she's off to a quick start. We also saw Noah Masiga getting a few waves. Paul, what your thoughts on this?
Yeah, good opening effort from her. Carolina. And just trying to get an inside going, which doesn't really happen for her. Nevertheless, she'll just keep on plugging away. You mentioned the countdown series. Remember Again, right up the rocks at Ribera Dilias.
She
trying to
always
get the score.
Put it on the line all the time.
Elin Vast has been impressive from what we've seen of her so far. And she looks like she's got a bit of a spring in her step this morning already. Keeping the energy going, just trying to find the little pockets of opportunity on the wave. It is a bit of a trundly pace to it, but she's ridden quite a long way on that one.
Yeah.
Leisiaga, one of our French women. And she doesn't really get a clean section there, Ben, so doesn't really get a chance to do much damage.
Yeah, looks like Elin Vast got the better of that exchange. Longer wave, more turns, did quite well. And just seeing Carolina Mendez there, putting a bit of space between her and her competitors. Noah had a good heat yesterday, surfed strong, and pretty convincing heat winner in the end. And she's just got that 2.17, so not a whole lot of action in that first exchange. Quite a lot of waves ridden to see for the scores for Mendez and Vast. Probably the two better waves ridden. The judges like to take their time early on in the heat to set the standard. And Eliane Vast is looking around. Mendez always got the game face on. Really strong competitor. Loves the cut and thrusted battle. And then out the back, that's Hopkins. Live action. She's swooping. She's just looking now for something on the inside. Just see the frustration. There's a little outside bank that sort of breaks it back, and then sometimes you've got to pump and weave to get to the little connection. In that case for Yolanda, she couldn't quite make that transition. Quickly paddles back out. Sort of the early starts here in Caparica to make the most of the high tide and the good winds. So they're the two things down here in the mornings that favour these beach breaks, especially with this smaller swell. We've predicted this to be the smallest waves of the whole contest period. So this is the day that we can still contestable, still got waves, but hopefully tomorrow on Friday, there's a bit more of a kick in the swell, a bit more from the westerly direction, which helps, and then Saturday is the same before it tails again off on Sunday as a new north swell comes in. So we're all just trying to set up for the last couple of days where we can really pick the eyes out of the best surf conditions, find the best tides, and make it through to what should be a thrilling climax, I would say. And it's just shaping up, Paul. It's starting to warm up. Can you feel the energy? Can you feel the excitement?
Not quite yet, Ben.
No?
To be fair, no.
Feel it?
I feel this is the calm before the calm in lots of ways. So, but like you said, yeah, we're not far away from crowning a champion in a couple of days this weekend when it all wraps up. But yeah, just for the moment, I'm just keeping my powder dry. Don't want to peak too early.
As we see out the back, some live action. Oh, there was a bit. Mendez, she did have priority and she's utilised it wisely. So coming down the line, nice little backhand slump. And can't quite finish it off. She'll be disappointed. She got all the way to the inside and couldn't quite finish it. We see where that rests in the judges. And now, we see Ziga. Oh, it's a nice left and she's butchered it. Just first turn, got excited, couldn't quite make it. Hopkins on the inside. Again, trying to look for that little inside section. Comes around. And can't quite do it. So that's another way for Hopkins. It won't really count. Got some more tweets coming in though, Paul.
Twitter's fired up, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people online.
Dougal from Dudley. As we see.
Yeah, just sharpened this one, didn't she? And a little sniff from Hopkins, looked interested. And said, no, this is mine. Good stuff from her. She gets a few turns in. Yeah,
she just got a couple in. She's got some good waves, but hasn't quite finished it off. Yeah, Dougal from Dudley, he was saying he likes the musical innovation. He's happy with that. He just thinks if every surfer had their own song, it would add a certain excitement to it. He's saying in the Test cricket, in the cricket, they've added the sort of pink balls and the night element to surfing. He says, has that ever been done before in surfing? Night surfing?
No, it's never been done.
Never been done? No. Well, that's not true, because I think you'll find been various sort of events. The bow repairs pro in Sydney in the early 80s was one of the first events in Cronulla. I think you'll find some of our friends down there who were around at the time seeing the Cronulla beach breaks lit up fairly ineffectually, I might add. In more recent times, there's the night event down there in Onglet, where they put lasers or lights on their boards. So yeah, I mean, I think it's madness to not utilise the darkness times for professional surfing. We tend to just switch off when the sun goes down. I mean, why not keep this thing rolling 24/7? Good point from Dougal. Other innovations, I mean, are welcome. Got any ideas that we can put to Head of Global Operations and Innovation, Rob Gunning, and he can file it away into his book of potential changes to the tour. Not that it needs much, as we can see. It's all very exciting at the moment. 20 minutes on the clock. There's scores coming in. And it was that surfer from Tahiti Vast getting a 5.5. Oh, no, scores just changing there as I spoke too early. So Yolanda Hopkins, 5.83. Big scoring wave. And then Mendes with a 5.5. Vast with a 4.5. But she's only got the one wave. So Paul looking pretty strong. This heat's already got some high scores. With 10 minutes to go. Sorry, 10 minutes gone. 20 minutes remaining. It looks like it's tightening up, Paul. Right now, though, before Paul gives us his searing insight, we're going to go down to the beach with the winner of the last heat and Joanna.
Yeah, Juliet. Your physios must be doing a great job, because so are you. How's your back feeling?
It's feeling way better. Been getting so many massages. Felt so good. Yeah, still hurting. We're working on it, and yeah.
And what was all the chat about there on the pier with your coach?
Told me that I did a good job, but I made a few mistakes, and yeah, just...
Well, good enough to go through to the next round.
Yeah.
And this beach break is also very familiar to you, kind of similar to the one you have at Biarritz.
Yeah, it's like kind of like tricky waves, really slow, and yeah, not really it doesn't really look like but yeah.
Okay, well, good job anyway. Thank you, and see you in the next round.
Yeah, harsh words from the coach. Romain, he doesn't mince words, does he? He's harsh but fair. You got one heap. You made some mistakes, and we've worked with her coach over the years. One of the legends of Onglat, and he calls it as he sees it. And he's also very good at push-ups, I would say. Once had a push-off competition. I think I busted out, which I thought was a pretty healthy 16, 17, like in a row. Thought, there you go, just as an opening gambit. He's come in and he's dropped 50 one-armed ones without even breaking a sweat. About one of the great servers of their time. So yeah, Juliette Lecombe.
That's good chat, Ben.
Well, I mean, I'm just kind of talking to myself, but Juliette Lecombe, yeah, she was like kind of a bit wishy-washy there. She was like, yeah, I got my heat, but I made a few mistakes. Lives to fight another day, and yeah, she looks strong, but can improve, and that's what you're gonna have to do to get through these rounds. It's not easy, and if you make mistakes as you progress, you're gonna get punished. Right now, Hopkins out in front with a 5.83 and 3.23. She knows these waves. Coming from the surf camp just down the south of here. Bit of live action though, as Vast with priority. They split the peak. She thinks about, she just can't get it, so she's paddled for it. Bit of a priority thing there. You can see Vast eyeing off her competitor. If she just got to her feet and went right, she may have had an interference opportunity. She couldn't get to the wave.
An interference opportunity,
Yeah.
is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah. It's probably one of the great opportunities of professional surfing. You could see her eyeing off, but unfortunately for Vast, who had priority, she's paddled for it and didn't catch it. So that would be another mistake.
We did see a few ding-dongs of priority yesterday, Ben. Why do you think that was? Because conditions were small, surfers were surfing a very tight peak.
That and the fact that some of them just forgot the basic rules of priority and interference and took off on waves when they didn't have priority. So it all combined. But right now, in the break of proceedings, we're going to go to a short commercial break, come back with more live action from the Costa de Caparica.
Prepara os teus sentidos, porque vais despertar. Vais ser o primeiro a ouvir, o primeiro a olhar e a tocar. Tu vais ser o primeiro a inspirar e a provar esta nova realidade antes de todos. Agora, primeiro. 5G, vais sentir.
Can I change my answer?
And I wish we could take that one back.
Trestles is the perfect place.
Fair point, but I'm going to disagree. It's not a real power surfing wave.
I'm going to throw your power out the window. Watch the hottest debate in surfing only on worldsurfleague.com.
And we are back live to the beautiful shores of Caparica Beach, Portugal. Clear waters, the sunny skies, the action's heating up, and we've got some live action here as we see the French surfer in green fanging down the line, looking for something to work with. Hasn't quite got it as yet. Still working. Little inside section. What can she perform? She hasn't done much. She's done a lot of work. 2 turns that weren't that exciting, to be honest. And she took some time to get there. See the next surfer just waiting for the action there, Lelo. But yeah, that was a long bit of effort. And then here on the inside, Mendez, local surfer. She knows these waves very, very well. Previously known as Carolina Enrique, now known, taking the name Mendez. And I'll tell you what, she's been in an inside section and finishes it off. Such a gnarly competitor, always working, never stops, takes his sport very, very seriously. Ultimate goals and dreams of making the CT. And this is a small step towards that. What do you think of this wave, Paul?
Yeah, nicely done from Carolina. Great first turn. And then you see she sort of looks a long way inside here. She realised that the wave was going to go soft. And because she kind of had an early read on that, she's always sort of focusing this energy down on the inside for a finish. Travelled a long way, bringing it all the way in here. Gets a little clip back and another little hit again. So good stuff from her. And second, before that came in, I reckon she'll improve her position. Contrastingly, this wave, well, this was actually a nice opener. There's a good little section. So this one, rather than having to fade back and wait for the wave to stand up, she actually kept going down the line there, did Aylan. And a couple of nice turns from her.
Yeah, really impressive Aylan surfing. She looks to have it all. Good technique. She's got the temperament. And, obviously grown up in the Tahitian reef break, so she's got the ability to tube ride. So she's looking good. Although she's waiting for that score, she only needed a 4.51 to get up into second. As we see Hopkins, always busy.
Yep, absolutely. Keeping that board moving, trying to keep the energy up, but the ocean doesn't have much of its own to provide her. And the wave will go into a hole. She is the heat leader at this stage. We've got a score to come in for Mendez, though, and that might threaten that lead of Yolanda Hopkins, because Carolina surfed that wave well. Getting her manoeuvres done. Kind of crucial times on that wave, Ben. I reckon it might be a reasonable number for her, and she could have a shot at going first.
Yep, she's getting closer and closer. We'll wait for those scores to drop. In the meantime, Paul, you've spent some time in Caparica. Second trip down here. It's been 3 or 4 days now. You've sort of acclimatised. What's been your highlight? You know, whether it be surfing action, beachside action, walking action. You know, what's just a single moment where your heart has sung?
Broadly, I would just say breakfast. I really like breakfast time around here. It feels like a kind of a morning place. You know, some places just where they're sort of orientated, where the sun comes up, how the light is. But yeah, I just like kind of this time of day. What are we, 10 to 8 local time? So yeah, I would say anything between your sort of 7:45 and your 8:45 really gets me going.
Right, it's not so much a sort of special moment, it's a special time for you.
Yeah, well, meal time. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, I love the mornings. Obviously,
you're a real morning person.
Yeah, and we've mentioned some of the birding as well. Probably not enough, actually. Not much chat about that, but we'll save that. But yeah, birds busy in the morning. Good dawn chorus again this morning. Bit of predation going on as well, wasn't there, around our hotel?
Yeah. We saw some. Is that bird fighting?
Well, it's bird eating, and they're having their breakfast as well, aren't they? So
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, they have to catch theirs and then pluck it.
Yeah.
And then just peck its some.
Or ours just gets delivered in a nice little brown bag. And yeah, it is a special time in the morning. The sunrise and the sunsets here are both absolutely spectacular. And with weather like this, we know that the conditions, sun all day, to slowly warm up during the day. You can feel. It's one of those things, Paul. That's what I've been struggling with a little bit, just getting your outfits right. As we see a bit of the debrief before that.
When you're on the wave, just use energy. Stay active. Just work it. And if there's any opportunity, try and get that backhand tap, throw a bit of spray, frontside tap. See the girls, they're coming back to that main peak there on that corner. You don't have to leave that corner.
Wow, bit of little sort of insight to the coaching world there. His advice. Now, I don't know that man's name, and I'd like to find out. He's South African, obviously, as with the accent, but he's helping with the German surf team. So he's over here helping out the German Federation and their surf team. And it's all about the energy. So
look at this energy, though, from Mendes. She's going so fast on this wave, Monday. I'm really impressed with this. And she's just eking every drop out of it. Absolutely flying. You don't get a lot of points for speed as such in surfing, but it still makes it visually impressive. And she'll get a little hit on the end as well. She looks like she's in great form, Mendes. And this was Aileen Vast. Another look at left-hander from her. She's sticking to the backhand weaponry. Gets a couple of nice hits of her own.
Aileen Vast, impressive. Who's the fastest surfer you've ever seen live, Paul? In the flesh.
I want to say Thomas Hermes.
Well, just say it. If you want to say it, just say it.
I know he's a big favourite of yours.
Yeah, it's like the Brazilian MR. Yeah, he's quick. He's pretty quick. And so is this lady, Yolanda Hopkins, driving down the line. She's been pushed back into third place, so now she needs a score. Only needs a 4.4. Hasn't got a face to work with yet. Here she goes inside. Carving, cut back. Goes into the middle and finishes it off. And I reckon there'll be a claim underneath that sort of high tide mark there. She's driving down the line. She's got that sort of roadblocks kind of energy. She's got that automation. She's firing on. Took a while to get to the open face. Carve there, needing a 4.4. Finishes it off.
I mean, you can't fault the commitment to the manoeuvres, can you? She's driven into getting her turns done. And a good effort from her. Now down in third, though, Ben. Needing a number here.
Yeah, a 4.4 to advance. And there's been some good solid scores. The three, Mendes, Vast and Hopkins in particular, are all really posting some big numbers. They're all going for those 2 spots. And that last one of Hopkins comes in at just a 3.4, so a point short of what she needed, unfortunately, for Yolanda. 7 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to get back out there. It only takes 20 seconds to paddle back out. As it stands, Carolina Mendez is out in front with a couple of 5s. Alian Vast with a 5.73 and a 4.5, and that means Yolanda Hopkins, who we've been talking up quite a bit, is facing pretty difficult task. Well, it's getting a 4.4 easily within her grasp, but she's running out of time. She'll start be getting nervous. She's waited a long time to put the singlet on after a long hiatus in terms of qualifying series competitive action, and within the blink of an eye she's on the cusp of getting knocked out. So not easy for Hopkins, but she's got to fight back. I think Vast, for me, has been the most impressive. I know Mendez has stayed busy. As that coach said, I think it's all about providing energy on the waves. You know, and any chance you get, his theory is if you look busy, you get points. As we see more live action. Ooh.
As the famous expression goes, Jesus is coming, look busy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the judges live by. And right now, we're going to go to see how we've got to this point. 5 minutes on the clock. Mendez leading, Vast coming second, and this is the way it played out. So we saw straight off Mendez
ripping.
Yeah, from the get-go. She just looked busy.
Blazing. She's been good value for her lead in this one. It's Carolina. And she's ever active. You see her looking around for sections. Love the way she's going through the lip there with a big re-entry. And always trying to find the pockets of energy on a pretty tricky morning for surfing. Not a lot of waves on offer. She's super light on her feet. And she's managed to convert a couple of decent numbers for a reasonable total as well. She's looked good value to lead this one out.
Yeah, different approaches. Vast, a bit more taller. She's a bit more power to her surfing, but hasn't quite got the same, probably the wave selection, not quite as good as Carolina. But those 2 surfers through those waves are now out in front. Mendez in first, Vast in second. Hopkins landing a score with 4 minutes 42 on the clock. Still just enough waves. It's been, as we've shown, it's these little small banks. It's just trickling into swell. It's slow, but it's just enough. We get half-hour heats, which means there's plenty of time for these surfers, and there's plenty more action to come. No men today. It's all about the Women's Day.
What? I've got a question, man. It's not a tweet. It's just from me.
Yep.
What do you reckon would happen if our surfers decided amongst themselves to divide up the time? So just one of them had their own little slot. I mean, 4 doesn't go that well into 30, but to say there were 20-minute heats, they said you've got 7 minutes each.
7.5 minutes.
Yeah, well, there you go. It does go quite nicely. Imagine if they had 7.5 minutes each to do whatever they wanted. The other one just had to watch and kind of golf clap.
Yep, I like that. And there'd be a good, like, rock, paper, scissors at the start of the heat to see who gets their slots, which is always exciting.
What would you want?
Film that.
Would you want to go early, or would you want to go at the end knowing the scores that you need? You'd want to go last, wouldn't you?
You want to go last, I think, would be an advantage, but it would add pressure. Well, it's a bit like the old sort of ski races, isn't it? You start off out of the gates and then you set your times, and then if you the fastest,
it's nothing
eventually
like
goes at the end. Well, each individual athlete has their slot. Everyone watches on.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think Terry Fitzgerald used to do the hot butted Pro Junior, which is probably one of the forerunners to the big junior events, and he had that exact format where all this. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, really. Yeah, he did it for like 2 or 3 years, and they had each surfer had I think 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and you got to score, and then at the end of the day they tallied it up, and the surfer with the best score went last, and then they did another round the next day. It was that DY point. It was like 6 foot pumping DY with the new format. Yeah, didn't take off too innovative.
The obvious disadvantage would be sometimes there's no waves in your 10 minutes. You could easily get a lull, couldn't you?
Yeah, and conditions change, obviously. So it might be 6 foot DY in the morning, and then by the time you get in the afternoon, it is, yeah. So that is the advantage of all the surfers being in the water at the same time. I do always get a chuckle to myself when some of the surfers complain about the conditions.
You chuckle to yourself.
Yeah, let's go. You do realise the other surfer was in the exact same conditions that you were actually in, but I don't usually mention that, Paul. These conditions, look at Vast. She's sort of hammering away at Hopkins. She's got 3rd priority, so she's got one over. She's all over. This is a classic tactical battle. 3rd versus 4th priority. You don't often see that, Paul. And it looks like...
She's identified the threat, hasn't she?
Yeah, most definitely.
She said, Yolanda can come back at me here. She only needs a 4-4, so I'll just try and control her waves. And she'll do that here. Classic use of the prio.
Yeah, but she's given it away there. Hopkins, yeah, okay, good. Now I've got in charge. 1 minute on the clock. I'm not entirely sure that was a good use of her time. Vast, but she did stop Hopkins catching away, but she hasn't stopped her now. This might be the last throw of the dice for Yolanda. And she's waiting for a section. Couple of cutbacks, but not a whole lot of action there. And she just, in any chance to get the score, she would have needed to have sort of hammered that last turn, and she didn't. And you see the coach, I think that's a coach, yeah. So this was the wave, Paul. She needed to do something pretty special. And
yeah, she had to push hard. She knew she needed the score. She did well to kind of hustle this opportunity. Couple of nice turns and this tricky inside. Just loses traction on the front foot, that's it. She's pushing hard for a strong finish. 4-4 was the requirement, and she's probably in a shout for that score there, with some good surfing before that. Let's see where the score comes in anyway, but she'll be disappointed with that. Still swinging on the inside though.
Yeah, well, swinging, and she knows the game is up. She's disappointed and frustrated, as you would be. But that's a wrap. Looks like Carolina Mendez and the Tahitian Vast are through that round with solid surfing. Never really looked in too much strife until that last kind of minute. So those girls continue on. Impressive displays. And they go through to the next round. And they just come in through the beautiful sort of drone footage here, as you see the coastal setting, the beautiful waves, Lisbon in the background. But right now, as we are in between heats, we're going to go to a short commercial break and come back with more live action from Costa to Caparica.
Almada, território de muitos.
The ocean gives me so much. It makes me who I am. I sign to treat the ocean with the respect that it deserves and do my part.
And a warm welcome back to the beach. We'll keep on rolling through a round of 32 for the women of the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf. It's time to say, for the first time today, Good morning to Chico Alves.
Good morning, Paul. Nice to have you here. Looks like a sunny day. Beautiful waves. Quite small, but looks really fun.
Let's check out who's in the water. Rachel Presti, Garashi Sanchez Otun, Noah Lelior, and Maëlys Joel. That's our 4 surfers in the water. This is Garashi Sanchez, early on, a veteran now in Europe, and a fiery competitor with a good attack on quite a speedy little wall there. Meanwhile, Presti having a dig. Saw her getting her advice from her coach. She's staying nice and light on her feet, sort of swooping around the pocket here.
Yeah, she gets... Oh, she fell there, unfortunately. Yeah, Garazzi started off really well, as we see green here. Maëlys, she gets a quick hit there. Wave was kind of soft, so it was hard for her. But yeah, I like the way Garazzi started off this hit. That right-hander looked really good. And she's the type of competitor that likes to start strong, and she loves to build on her scores. So yeah, I really enjoyed the way she attacked that wave.
What do you think the key is to trying to get scores when it's small like this, Francisco? Go fast, stay light on your feet, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I think that's the main goal, is to stay light, and maybe once you have that extra speed, just excel on one big turn and try to put everything on 1 or 2 turns max. Just don't try to oversurf it. Like try to do like 5 small turns and then it comes in as a 3, other than just build some good speed and do a proper turn and get like a 5, like we saw yesterday the boys doing. So yeah, I think that's the goal for them. For the girls, I think the waves are quite small, so I think they should be focused on getting that speed up and doing bigger turns.
We're just chatting with Monday in the last heat about some of our favourite stuff at Caparica. What's your favourite time of day around here? I like the morning. I like breakfast. Are you more of like a late afternoon guy, Chico? Lunchtimes, siesta time?
No, I like after lunchtime during the week.
Right, little nap, feel a bit full.
No, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, go for a surf.
Right.
And then, like, if it's winter time, 5 o'clock is already dark, 5:30. So you just surf all that, those 2 hours with that light.
Nice.
Kind of like darky light.
Yeah.
I like those days.
Yep.
No one in the water, just myself. Darky light with some orange in between here and there. So yeah, feels good to surf here alone, especially on the winter time.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into summer, of course, soon after big winter around Europe. 4 swells, a lot of action. This part of the coast offering us loads of variety with a bit of shelter from some of those bigger swells as well.
Have you been surfing, Paul, over here?
Yeah, loving it, mate. Surfing up and down a few different spots I didn't know about before, but I've been really impressed with the variety here at Caparica. We know about a contest venue, but up and down, a few different waves around. It's really cool to explore. Go on a little road trip. And yeah, just checking some of those uncrowded peaks. Things get a little bit more, well, a lot more sort of wild. And as you head south, a lot less built up. And yeah, a lot of fun to be had. So out in the water right now, scoreboard-wise, Garashi Sanchez 5-5 for her, looking good. So an opening effort was a steep wave, good enough for 5-5. Other than that, small numbers for Presti and Joel. Noah Lelor is still waiting patiently, has yet to get off the mark. And I think there's going to be quite a lot waiting around today.
Yeah, looks really slow. Looks even slower than yesterday. The waves dropped a little. Yesterday in the afternoon we saw a couple of really nice waves. We saw Erwan, blue, how do you say the last? Blue. Yeah, he got a really sick air. I wasn't commentating, but I saw the air. So yeah, we saw plenty of action yesterday. Today it's looking quite smaller, but yeah, the girls are trying to make the most of it. But yeah, a lot of waiting. I don't know. We should count to see how long it takes to every set to come in. But yeah.
What are we looking at? Is this Sintra?
Let me just see the open space. The first thing I thought...
I went in early.
No, seriously, when I saw the footage really close, I thought it was like a cloud, and then you said Sintra. So yeah. Oh, amazing camera work. How far is he? Oh, that's really far. Look. That's amazing.
So looking north there across the city of Lisbon to the Sintra Mountains. Another wave-rich region on a very lucky Portuguese coast in terms of swell. Tons of spots up and down our particular stretch of coast at the moment. It's called Caparica. Of course, this is the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest. Not loads of motion out in the ocean this morning. If you're the surfer with the score on the board, you don't mind that. At the moment, that's Garachi Sanchez. Otherwise, it's all quite quiet and still. I've been a water photographer. Ricardo can just sort of stand on the bottom.
I was just going to talk about that. He's enjoying his day at the office. He's having quite a good day for him.
He's having a cruisy one.
Yeah.
He has lots of days where he's paddling non-stop, diving under waves constantly.
True.
Dealing with a lot of energy. Today he's just like standing there, just saying, yeah, okay, cool. Get myself in the right position. Get some beautiful images in this morning light. It is a beautiful scene this morning at Caparica in terms of our conditions and our weather. Could have done with a little more swell, but we'll take what we've got. We did that yesterday. Pretty successful, I'd say overall. I think people in general are quite surprised how well it went just in terms of performances and scores yesterday. And I think it's been another good decision from Hugo Pinheiro, your buddy, our contest director, to pull the trigger again this morning. Just looking at the forecast and how much surfing we've yet to run. We've decided to go. And so far we have had opportunities, but like you said, long lulls between, maybe sometimes 10 minutes or so. Also looking across the river there towards Lisbon.
I love the camera work. He's getting really close to the other side of the river. And yeah, you can actually get really close with the camera. I'm impressed. I didn't thought yet.
It's Cascais Marina there, where you can see the boats.
Yeah,
that's really impressive. So Cascais across the bay there, on the other side at Lisbon. Of course, we're just on the south side of that famous stretch of water, and our swell will bend in around the headland if it comes from the north. This swell's actually pretty west. So coming more or less straight in to the beach here at Caparica. And here we go, live action. Garachi Sanchez looking for a backup for 5-5. Not as good as our opening wave. It's just going to be a very small number from her.
I really enjoyed the 5-5 she had early on. I think she did a really good job on connecting those turns on that wave. Garachi, she has always been this fearless competitor. She loves to compete. I flew with her to Indonesia once. We did a trip back then to Bali, and back then she was already this really competitive girl. So yeah, I love her approach. Oh, this looks like a good one.
There she goes. She's found herself a speed runner here. And she didn't have priority, but everyone's kind of let her go, and she's flying down the line. Look at this stuff. She'll go into a cutback, and then another. Sort of spreading those wings. Still swinging. It looks like, just wave-wise, looks like the best wave we've seen of the day so far. She didn't necessarily attack it super hard, but a great looking wave. Here's Presti, and she's got a good wave of her own as Rachel. So a little bit of quality from the ocean and a little bit of quality from the action as she gets a nice backhand, sort of drifting hit up in the lip. We heard her getting a coach's advice. We had a little sort of listen in on that earlier. So far in second place, she seems to be doing all right. Let's get another look.
Yeah, the wave was kind of flat at the start, but then she manages to get like a quick hit at the end. Yeah, she made it, so she might be stoked on that. And then Garachi, she ran away with this wave. No one actually paddled for this wave.
and this wave was one of the best waves we saw today. So yeah, she did a really good job on connecting the dots and finishing the wave off. She fell at the end, but I think the score was made just at the start of the wave. So Garazzi now looking really good with the 6.5.
Alice Barton getting ready there. Coming up in the next heat. She's got a tough heat. Teresa Bonvolo. Be a lot of excitement about seeing her surf. She's coming up in that heat with Elise Barton. Also going to feature Yanira Gonzalez and Alejandra Balboa. So a stacked heat coming up next. Let's go down and hear from the winner of the last heat, who's standing by with Joanna.
Hey, Carolina, congratulations. That was a long talk there on the pier. What were you talking about with your coach?
Yeah, it's pretty small conditions today, but it's really good to compete on the QS again. My coach was talking to me about the decisions on the heat. It's really hard to compete with small conditions, but I'm pretty happy to make my heat.
Are you hoping to go through the next round today or maybe another day?
I mean, my board, it's working really good. It's a epoxy from Poland, and I like to surf in small conditions too. So I don't know. I'm pretty
Either
happy.
way, you're always ready for it.
Yeah, I'm training a lot for that. So I'm just happy to be competing again, and let's see.
Where have you been training?
Here, Cascais, all Portugal in this break on the contest. So I'm really prepared to everything, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, well, good luck then for the next round, and back to you guys.
All right, good stuff. Carolina Mendez, she's happy. She's got the confidence of the well-prepared. She's been training a bunch in all sorts of conditions, but she is very light on her feet, and I'd agree with her. Board does look great for her as well. She was impressive, and she seems happy. Here goes Maëlys Chouot using the priority, up and swinging. That's nice. Pretty stylish and smooth, and again a little sting, but she'll go down on a soft section. Maëlys will wake her way back out, knowing she made a little mistake on the end here, Francisco, but nevertheless a nice wave.
Yeah, she started off with a quick carve, and here the wave was kind of soft, and she didn't really got low on her position on the surfboard, so she could excel on that turn. When the waves are this small, you need to get low on your surfboard. You really need to get your center of gravity a little lower, so you can generate a little bit more speed. So yeah, after the carve, I thought she could get a little bit lower to just do another turn there. But yeah, the first carve looked really cool.
Yanira Gonzalez getting ready there. And then we see Teresa Bonvolo also getting some words of advice. What do you reckon her coach is saying there, Chico?
Pay attention to the sets.
Okay. Good advice.
Pay attention to the sets only. Maybe look for the right-hander Garazzi just got. Broke a little bit there to the right of side of the beach, and yeah, just wait for the sets and try to put bigger turns. That's what I would say. You?
Yeah, no, strong advice. I'd say go the in-betweeners. No, just kidding. Absolutely need to stick to the sets. Some of them have got some good opportunity in between. It is really small. Definitely just lacking a little bit of energy in the ocean this morning. Noah Lilior's lacking some. She hasn't ridden anything, so nothing of interest for Noah so far in this. She'll sit with the priority as we'll tick down just towards that 13.5-minute mark shortly. Big number in for Garachi Sanchez, 6.5 for her for that right-hander. It was a great-looking wave. No one else wanted it, which is kind of surprising. She didn't have priority.
Yeah, I think the other girls, they were out of position. That's why they didn't cut the wave, but Garazzi might be stoked on that. I would be stoked on that. Fourth priority, getting the best wave of the heat. I'll be in the moon. Look at her. This wave looked really fun. And she comes out the butt, quick carve. She opens her arms up, gets another one. Now she gets like a little drift of the tail there, and then she tries to finish it off. She fails, but yeah, the score was done and dusted by then.
So Galicia Sanchez out of the Basque Country and already on the way to a good score here with 12 points on the board. And still 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Certainly you'd much rather have those points already up there, as this ocean will experience prolonged periods of being very much becalmed on a beautiful morning, nice and glassy. No real wind to speak of, can't really see any movement at all in the vegetation. So a glassy sea surface, not much waves on offer as well. Francisco Alves reckons get the sets. Seems like reasonable advice. Do some big turns as well if you can. If you don't get the sets, just got to sort of sit there and think about life.
Yeah, you got 20 minutes to get yourself together. To think about what you've been doing wrong outside of the water maybe. But the thing is, you can't really complain yourself when you're competing in this type of conditions. If the wave doesn't come, it doesn't come. You cannot really try to control nature. So you really got to stick to your game plan.
All right, let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll see if Galicia Sanchez can hold on. Rachel Presti at the moment in second. Can Joao or Lelior come back at them? Find out right after this.
Prepara os teus sentidos, porque vais despertar. Vais ser o primeiro a ouvir, o primeiro a olhar e a tocar. Tu vais ser o primeiro a inspirar e a provar esta nova realidade antes de todos. Agora, primeiro. 5G, vais sentir.
Can I change my answer?
And I wish we could take that one back.
Trestles is the perfect place.
Fair point, but I'm going to disagree. It's not a real power surfing wave.
I'm going to throw your power out the window. Watch the hottest debate in surfing only on worldsurfleague.com.
All right, we're back live. Under 10 to go. Galicia Sanchez turned still with that lead. No waves to bring you from during the break. So it's as we were.
Yeah, I was saying you can't really complain when your game plan doesn't work in these type of conditions. Yeah, you just gotta wait still, keep calm, because it's slow for everyone. As we see here, Garazzi ran away with the seat, but in a normal situation, she wouldn't got that 6.5. Someone would have caught that wave, and she would be sitting on a 5.5 and a 0.5. So I think it's going to be slow for everyone. We see here by the scores that the waves are really slow. So I think you just need to keep it in out of your hands kind of thing, and make sure you just surf the wave once you get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bright sunshine this morning and brightness on the scoreboard from Sanchez Ortun at the moment with good numbers. Noah Lelior is going to be really frustrated with the fact that nothing has come through at all for her. I don't know if she's even really paddled for a wave. So she's been very patient. The good news is that Rachel Presti in second has only got 4 and a 3. Anyway, as we'll see some live action. And that looks like Mauricio Alt having a little look at the left there, which kind of disappeared into a little bit of a gap. So no waves ridden. Ticking down, 8 minutes to go. And local time, we're looking at 25 past 8 in the morning. It's a beautiful morning in Costa Caparica. And a very warm welcome to everyone tuning in wherever you are around the world. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Not a lot of wave action bringing you this morning for the time being. But we are potentially looking at running a couple of rounds even maybe this morning. We've had our contest director giving us the word that there's a chance of going through the next round as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a day full of action, and we are excited to be here for another day of competition. Waves are slow. Once they come, they look really fun, but it takes a little while. It's the ocean that decides whenever it wants to wake up or not, so we just gotta wait.
Playing the waiting game at the moment is what we're doing. Our surfers are doing that too in the water. Noah Lilior has been very patient indeed. Still hasn't stood up on a board. She might get an opportunity now. She's got first priority, and a little peak comes quite cooperatively to where she is. But again, that one will just go soft and won't stand up and break. So they'll have to let that one go. That's going to be continued frustration for her. Not really going the way she would have hoped. Not a lot you can do though. Like you said, the waves don't come. So beyond your control. Very, very small surf for us today. Teresa Bombolo getting her final instructions from her team. Her mum there as well. All the support on offer comes from just across the water. And those regions that we're zooming in on with our camera, cash case, that's her home. A tough heat there this morning.
6 minutes remaining. 6 minutes remaining now.
Yeah, she recently just signed with Rip Curl, so congrats to Teresa. She has been ripping, putting out some really good clips, and can't wait to see her compete here.
5.5 to go now. A little bit of energy from the ocean. Noah Lelor looks like she's got her first wave. She'll use the prio, and she's up on the backhand. Little clip off the top, and again another snap, and she won't get a completion on that. She waited a long time for that wave.
Yeah, she waited 25 minutes for her first wave, so she might be frustrated with what happened now. She fell on the second turn. If she actually surfed the wave, as I was saying, and she didn't fall, she was on this seat for sure. I think the waves are so slow that you can turn it around in 2 minutes because the paddle is so short. And yeah.
Four and a half on the clock. It's still Sanchez Urton with the lead. Presti as well in second. Those two in the advancing positions. Fourth place, Noah Lelor. Frustrating for her. Can't get the second maneuver done there, Chico.
Yeah, I think she came off the bottom and she thought the wave had a little bit more push into it, so she tries to attack it and couldn't really make that turn. So yeah, she might be a little bit frustrated with that. Nonetheless, she's paddling again here on the inside, seeing if she can catch some type of medium size in between sets, I would say. But yeah, conditions are looking really, really slow. So
let's check the recap, see how this one's gone down. It's not a lot to really bring you other than this. Moment of quality, 6-5. This was for Garachi Sanchez. She tore this one apart, Chico.
Yeah, she started off really quick. I really enjoyed this wave. She connected the dots quick. You could see she was ready to go. And she gets another one. So 2 quick waves for Garachi, starting off really strong. First carve. I like the way she extends her turns and this little kind of like layback snap. putting her back arm in the water and trying to finish it off. But really good wave. And then Presti getting a really nice off the bottom there, off the top on the lip, throwing her fins out, and yeah, putting that 4 on the scoreboard. And that's the story of this heat, actually.
Yeah, not a long story, but that's the way it's gone down. Those are your 1-2. And the score comes in for Noah Lelor, who waited ages, gets a 2-7. Not going to be particularly helpful in the grand scheme of things. That is her first wave, and she needs to get herself a second one. She needs a 4-3 to advance. Maëlys Joël's also been pretty quiet. She only needs a 4-4-7. A couple of minutes to go. All right, we've got a paddle here from Lelor. She's found herself a wave. A quick in and out it'll be. Meanwhile, behind her, your 8 leader, Garachi Sanchez. She looked like she had an opportunity. That one's a bit straight. Maëlys Joël with a look of determined dissatisfaction. And there really isn't much coming through at all.
The waiting game, it's the game to play today. So they don't have another option other than wait for waves. They can't really make them happen without them breaking. So yeah, we're gonna have some big lulls in between sets. Once the waves come, they look really fun. Makes me want to go surf. You too, Paul?
Yeah, mate, frothing. Yeah. Let's see if we get a little push and swell at some point later in the day. We are expecting things to pick up, of course. That's a good thing about when it's small. It can only get better. So we are expecting waves to kick in through and towards the weekend. A little wave standing up here. Doesn't really hit the sandbar quite right. That one will go unridden. And I'm not sure we'll see much more surfing in this one. We've only had 8 waves ridden as it is. And as we go down towards the final 40 seconds or so, it looks like Garachi Sanchez is going to stay in control here and just see this one out. Rachel Presti will get through as well.
30 seconds now. Ladies in the next heat, please well away from the
Oh, well, we do have a little bump coming through, so perhaps a last gasp effort for our surfers in 3rd or 4th, as we see a good-looking wave stand up, which might just about get into our contest area. It looks like Presti with priority. No, she doesn't get it. So we've got paddle here from Noah Lelor. With the last 2 seconds to go, she stands up looking for a 4-3, and that won't be it. So that'll be frustration for her, as she'll go down. Just the second wave, 3rd wave that she's ridden in half an hour. And that's going to wrap it up.
Exactly, Paul. Garachi Sanchez taking the win. 6-5, 5-5, 12-point total. So she ripped this hit.
Official results are in. Sanchez and Presti 1-2. Joël and Leo will bow out. We'll be back with more live action right after the break.
Almada, território de muitos.
The ocean gives me so much. It makes me who I am. I sign to treat the ocean with the respect that it deserves and do my part.
We are back live here on Caparica Beach, just south of Lisbon, for the heat number 4, round of 32, here for the Caparica Surf Fest. We've had small conditions, kind of fun. Obviously the weather looks amazing, as you can see from that wide shot. That is looking north up to the capital city of Lisbon, where those buildings are on the Cascais coast. We're just over the river on the southern side of Lisboa, and a little surf hub known for its just series of jetties that break the banks up into sort of meaningful chunks. Always a wave on this part of the coast. Got a tiny bit of remaining swell hanging in for hopefully a little boost coming in over the next 2 days. And right now in the water, we've got Teresa Bonvalo, Portuguese surfer with a great pedigree and lots of experience. That's Alice Barton. She's from the Welsh coast in the UK. And she's looked at that one, can't quite get there. We've got Janir Extabari, so the Bass surfer, who had a really good run actually in last year's countdown series in Portugal. And Alejandra Balboa also in this one as well from Spain. So yeah, 4 great surfers. My name is Ben Mundy, and I'll be joined in the booth by Francisco Alves, who knows these waves well. But hold that thought, as live action, as that's Extabari just gets up and gets one little turn in. It's not easy out there, Francisco. It's small, and it's a little bit sort of gutless, but the girls have been doing well, making the most of it.
Yeah, they're looking exciting. They are looking excited about the conditions. I think even though it's quite small and with not much power, you can see they are excited to be competing again. So as we see here, why?
Yeah, it's one of those cases. I mean, the forecast comes in. You surfed many a QS event. You know, these events have got windows. You've just got to try and pick the best out of the forecast. We've seen some lines come in, and you know, as a means of getting the best out of the event, and particularly the finals days, which is the all important. It's about trying to just manage the heat, trying to get as much stuff done when there's little waves. And right now, here's some little waves, but it looks fun here for Balboa. Gets one turn in, but see a frustration as she's only able to get that one little turn in. Bonvalo, you would have seen a lot of her surfing over the years. Is she still improving? Still getting better, do you think, Francisco?
Yeah, Teresa has been improving a lot over the last 2 years, I think. Her rail game is getting stronger and stronger. And she's throwing a couple of airs too, but yeah, her rail game really improved over the last 2 years. And Teresa just signed with Ripco recently, so she might be stoked on that. I think it's a really good acquisition for the brand, and I think she really wants to make a good result here. She has been surfing really good, so
yeah. And just getting the support of the industry is really important in terms of getting funds for competing and for a profile. So that is good news for Teresa. And yeah, she's such a great surfer. Just never really just got to that next level that she's capable of. I'm sure it's only a matter of time in terms of just, you know, getting some big QS wins, or obviously CT qualification is the goal. As you see, Spartan looking at this one, banging down the line. And again, Barton just can't get around that corner. Meanwhile, Balboa, this girl's just unfortunately just unable to find any open face at the moment. It's a mix, isn't it? You know, you sort of, the waves don't come that often, so you want to panic and catch every wave that comes through. You also want to chance your hand, but at the moment these girls are just going waves that just offer no scoring opportunity. So they've got to change that. They've got to be a bit more selective and try and pick those waves that just have a little bit of an opening, albeit small.
As we see green here, Barton. Oh, quick snap, another one. She looks really quick, and she gets the turn. She made it. So 3 turns in a row.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good surfing, really fast. Those little inside runners.
That one was really small.
It was really small. She's tiny too.
Yeah, and she did such a good job to fit 3 turns on this thing. Check it out.
Yeah, so she's a bit late, then she drives around 1 turn, as you said, another one, and gets it up. So, yeah, good surfing there from Alice. This little side angle shows you how small that wave is, but just getting it up there.
I really enjoyed the last turn. I think it was quite vertical, and I think, in my opinion, it can be one of the best scores of the heat so far. We haven't seen nothing major yet, but yeah, I think she started off quite well. 23 minutes to go, and yeah.
Can you remember, you've grown up here, mate, there's so many little stretches along here, like in terms of the piers and what they call, what's your go-to? I say, hold on that, I'm going to give you time to think about that.
Thank you.
But yeah, down to the beach now with Joanna, who was the winner of the last heat.
Grazi, good choices out there. You're no stranger to the qualifying series. How was it out there?
I think it was difficult today to make choices, and it was depending a lot on where you sit. And I think I got lucky. I could surf at the beginning, and so just.
And what was the talk there on the beach? You were chatting to your coach, I guess?
Yeah.
What was he saying?
I just wanted to try to get to surf at the beginning, because sometimes you can get in these conditions like no surf on the half of the heat. And I just wanted to. It's been a long time since we didn't compete, so I wanted to surf and try to make my best.
And what's the strategy into the next round?
I think it's the best. Just look a lot at the waves and try to make the most of each wave, because I think you won't have like many choices.
Yeah. Well, good luck in the next round, and we'll
you.
see you later. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Joanna. And yeah, she just looked pretty calm. She was pretty composed. Got a game plan. Yeah, we saw a few big turns coming in there from Alice Barton. She got a 4.33 for that wave. The last one we went before that interview. 3 quick turns, and then she got another one. A lot of scores coming in. Yeah, what's your go-to? What do they call Chisco's Peak? What's the Alves kind of zone on this little stretch of the coast, mate?
I usually surf.
You own, basically. When you paddle, everyone just goes, whoa, 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 whoa.
No. I'm kind of lazy, so I kind of just surf in front of my house.
Right.
So yeah, I just surf there, and if I know there's like a really good bank around, because
the word gets out.
The WhatsApp group.
Surfers can't keep secrets, can they?
Yeah. They just keep saying, let's don't tell about this bank next day. There's 30 boys there. So. And the WhatsApp group is exploding with messages and saying, there's a sick bank over there.
I reckon surfers have got 2 types of secrets. Ones that aren't worth keeping, and ones that are too good not to tell. You know what I mean? I'll say that again.
Yeah, thank you.
Secrets. One's not worth keeping, one's too good worth to keep. Anyway, I know what you're saying. You hit your bank out the front. Alves's Peak, they call it, do they? Around these parts?
Not really.
No?
Not really. It's called
Alves Bowl?
CDS.
Right. That's
what I surf all the time. But I don't spend much time over here, unfortunately. I'm over in north of Portugal, in Porto, living. So when I come over here, I kind of like have my hours like almost counting like I need to do this, that, and then I just give a quick kiss to my mom and I leave. I actually don't bring my board that often. I have it here with me. I thought we could have a revenge eat from Santa Cruz, me and you, but with this type of swell, I'm going to leave it to you, the wind.
Yeah, this is my type of conditions. It's perfect for me.
Because I had a good dinner last night, and I think it might be hard to excel on these waves.
Yeah, it's not difficult. I think you did excel in the Santa Cruz Rip Bowl, but yeah, this is a whole different kettle of fish. It's small. Yeah, for power surfers like ourselves, I think we're best off leaving it to the professional athletes out here. 4 professional athletes in the water. The scores just come in. There's one more for Barton, who just got a big closeout re-entry, one-turn manoeuvre. We'll just see what she gets for that one. But it looks like Bomblow has a 3.83. Sorry, and scores coming in for Barton. So a 4.33 for the 3 turns, and then the 3.1 for the last sort of one close out re-entry. And I mean, there's danger lurking everywhere, and there's some dangerous surfers in this heat. And it's a bit of a flat spell. We see the surfer from the UK. She's out in front now, but plenty of time. Half-hour heats does give all these surfers plenty of opportunity to to take their time, not to get too stressed. It's a tough game, isn't it? You got, these long heats. You can sort of take your time, but also on the flip side is that you sort of want to stay busy. And we see that girl, Barton. She's been sticking to the little inside waves. And sometimes that pays off. Out the back, that's Bomblow, Cascais surfer. So burst on the scene as a 14-year-old. She got the wild card into the women's CT event that was held in Cascais there. And then ever since, she's been sort of in and around that elite level of the sport. And went to the World Juniors, got a 3rd place or a 5th place in the World Junior titles in Australia. So always been earmarked as sort of one of Portugal's best young female surfers with a really bright future. I think this year it might be time for Bomblow, if she can get into the Challenger Series events. So all these surfers are gaining qualifying series points that they will in their territory in Europe, and then the top 8 women surfers will get to go to the Challenger Series events. And from those 4 big events, we'll get to see who goes into the CT. So it's quite important for someone like Teresa. Probably more, she'll be eyeing off these first few events to get some rating points. Then if she can get in those Challenger Series events in Ericeira, Hossegor, in the US, there's one as well. She's a couple of big events, Francisco. You win an event or you get to the quarters even, and you can taste the CT. Right now, they're live action. She's going to a forehand. Kicks it up the top and just kicks out, so not much doing there, just a 1-turn wave she used her priority on. And so that's the prize for these surfers, isn't it, Francisco? Just those Challenger Series events at the end of the year, and then a couple of results, and CT could be a possibility. Do you think she's good enough, Teresa, to surf all the way at the CT?
Yeah, I really think so. Actually, yeah. I've been seeing some clips from Teresa on her free surfs, and on comps I've seen her compete quite often on the nationals, and yeah, Teresa has a really good repertoire of maneuvers, and she's really good overall. So yeah, Teresa is just she just needs to get the opportunity to really excel on her turns. I think she's the type of surfer that likes space on the wave. Her surfing really comes out when she has a little bit more space to surf with the wave. But yeah, she has been improving a lot over the last 2 years. Yeah, and here she's proving that with a nice hit off the top.
Yeah, it's got really good style, hasn't she? She's got that kind of forehand swoop when she lifts her arm. Always looks cool. I know what you mean about the space. She likes to do longer turns and engage her rail and draw them out. And when she does that, that's when she really shows her technical skills. So she's she's such a talent, and also hopefully, growing up in this part of the world, she's used to quality waves. So as soon as the waves get good, a bit of power, a bit of size, she really comes into her own as well. So
she reminds me a little bit of Caroline Marks sometimes. surfing.
Yep. Right.
A little bit taller.
Yep.
But they have like some similarities in their
approaches to the wave. Yeah, I can see
both
that.
goofy, both goofy. The way they do the carves on their front side looks quite similar sometimes. So yeah, sometimes when I see her surfing and I see Caroline Marks in the cities, I just like this touch of like comparison, which I think is good regarding the surf level of Caroline Marks.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, it's a good comparison, and yeah, one that she'd be happy, if she can get anywhere near that level. Caroline Marks, one of the really progressive young female surfers in the world, really pushing the bar of what's possible. The Rottnest competition was on this morning. We might check those results and come to you after a quick break. So as soon as we finish this short commercial break, we'll come back to Caparica for the rest of the action of this heat 4 of the round of 32.
Priority is white, second priority green, third priority red, fourth priority.
Almada, território de muitos.
The ocean gives me so much. It makes me who I am. I sign to treat the ocean with the respect that it deserves and do my part.
Okay, we're back live here at Caparica. We've had some scores dropping in this heat. Teresa Bonvolo got a 4.43 and a 3.83, so she moves into first. Alice Barton holding down second, but not by much. We saw Exeter Barry just getting a nice wave of 4.67 that during the break. So she is in third place, but only needing a really small score to advance. And Alexandra Balboa too, right in the mix. So this is the wave from the surfer there, Balboa. So she drove down the line, 3.43. And replay there. And then get back to live action here. As you see, those little sort of insiders. The surfers have to make a decision now whether to sort of stay at the back and wait for the sets and get one of those and then pump it through to the inside, or maybe just stick to the shallower inside bank and try and pick off a few. In this case, it is Bonvolo doing the ladder on the inside, but just can't get around. I mean, good surfing given the conditions, but still no open face to work with. And Barton, she's been sticking to these little inside rights, snapping away, loads of energy. Not much variety, but still getting it through there. So busy, and then out the back we saw Exeter Barry just try and hang up a backhand turn. Unfortunately, just can't get that one through.
How good is Barton's surfing? Waves are quite small, and she's fitting so many turns in one wave. I'm really surprised with this last wave of Barton. I think she did a really good job here. Quick snap. The wave was so small. Another quick one throwing the tail out, and she finishes it off. Boom. So yeah, this last wave. Is it the best wave of Barton, maybe?
Yeah, up there. She's sort of got a lot of waves similar, hasn't she? She's just sort of pinging away on a forehand and those little inside rights. She's got a 4.33. It was the best wave so far, so it might be in that mix. She's holding down second. She just needs to improve on a 3.10, so anything above that will help her cause. But yeah, she's been energetic. She's been active. But hasn't posted a massive score, still with just a heat total of 7.43. So for all her energy and her outlay, not huge scores, but it doesn't really matter about the scores. It's matter about that placing. And as it stands, she's in second place. So she has got
a little bit of a grasp on the heat with 9 minutes to go. But yeah, she won't be feeling very safe with Janir Gonzalez Extabarri just sitting right behind her. And we see Janelle in the white. No, this is Balboa Alexandra. So she's on a backhand. Looks like that's on a wet. Meanwhile, Barton drops the wallet and just finishes it off. So adding a bit of variety to the new scores, to her original turns. And I think she might be already getting a great score, as you said. A 5.83, not for that wave, the one before that really long right-hander. So you said she was ripping Francisco, and yeah, now she's got a bit of a lock on the heat.
Here we see Balboa trying to get one turn in, and Barton just keeps moving. She's been surfing really good. I really enjoyed this last wave, the 583. I thought it was well deserved. Third turn she did on that wave, she kicked the fins out, and after that she finishes the wave off, and she fit like 4 or 5 turns in like a wave that was so small and so hard to surf. So I think it was well deserved. And Teresa here under pressure now. 7 minutes to go. Janir needs a small score, Balboa too. So what might be in Teresa's head?
Yeah, Teresa now under a fair bit of pressure in second place. Does have priority, which is important for her, but just looking out to see. She needs to get a 5.74 to move in first, but yeah, her opponent in the blue, Extabarri, only needing a 3.59 to move up into second. So a relatively small score. But Bonvalo, she has priority. She has ability to sort of catch the next best wave that comes in. 7 minutes on the clock in second place. Not a bad position to be in. But yeah, she'll be a little bit nervous. You know, given she knows Extabarri so well, knows how strong a surfer she is. So it's going to be close. We do have some little waves coming through. I think the plan is that we may go on hold just after this heat. I think the organisers might just want to reassess the conditions. It's been slow and not always easy to get the whole range of scores that we need. So the organisers just probably going to take a little break, assess the conditions, see what the situation remains with the tide and the changing wind, and whether there's any sort of a bump in swell. There is swell due to come in. So, yep, just wait for official confirmation of that. But it does look like we are on hold after this heat. So we're going to stand by for the next call time. We'll give you the plan. But right now, it's still 5 minutes to go. This is live action. We're not on hold. These girls still really struggling to get some scores on the board. That was Balboa. She needed a higher score. And it's sort of all eyes on that little tussle for second between Extabarri and Bonvalo. As we see, Balboa just hasn't been able to find any type of rhythm. Just gets a couple in there, but not a whole lot of conviction. You can see the frustration. Nothing worse, as I'd imagine, Francisco, you're out there in the heat, you get beat, and then the event goes on hold, or the competition goes, you know, when the conditions worsen. I've seen it at the CT level, you know, sometimes you just got to pull the pin, but for those surfers in that last heat before it, it's can be a bit of a bitter pill to swallow sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's hard thing to manage when you lose and then they stop the comp. I think it's one of the worst feelings you can possibly have. You see the recap.
Yeah, so Bonvalo, just that was the first turn. First wave, one turn. It's been Barton who's been the busiest. Got the best waves. Stuck these little inside rights. This little pocket rocket. She just keeps getting right in that pocket and blasting little sort of fins through the back of the wave. Bonvalo, again, she just good surfing, good style, but just not quite having the open face to really weave a magic. And meanwhile, Barton just scraping down the line, loads of turns, loads of manoeuvres, and then finishes on the shore. So with those waves, Barton holds a fairly substantial lead. And Bonvalo in second, still holding priority. She's been patient with it. And it's probably one of the serves in the next heat will now be on hold. So having all gotten ready and all warmed up, you have to go for a free surf, stay focused. And we see that's Exeter Barry. I don't know if she needs 3.59. I'm not sure if that's the type of wave that's going to get it for her. So we'll just have to see what the judges think about that. She's just trying to find a bit of space. You see a competitor, Bonvalo, hers priority. She's shadowing her, not letting her get out of her sights, which is smart competitive thinking. These surfers still say hi. Good camaraderie between the surfers. I think they might not. The hold announcement might not have reached out to them just yet. I'll get it soon enough. But it's not about the hold. It's about 2 minutes on the clock. Barton out in front. Bonvalo in second. Exeter Barry and Balboa needing some scores. Not huge scores. Just 3.59 for Exeter Barry and a 4.83 for Balboa. It's looking pretty flat. Time's ticking away fast. They're right on the shore. Bonvalo sitting right on top of Exeter Barry. She can't get away. Look, she's trying now. So here we go. There's a few lines approaching. This might be the deciding waves of this heat. And huge waves, but she keeps swinging. Can't get a top turn in. Can't get a second turn in, so that's not going to count. And she's still waiting just to get that 3.54. Bonvalo will again, you'd think, just wait for it to come out and sit on her again. She's been more interested in stopping her opponent herself than actually catching the waves needs. But that's only because the right waves haven't come through. So she's done a good job of blocking and just hoping that she herself will get the opportunity now. But now she goes back and sits on her opponent. Exeter Barry must be like, God, how do I get rid of you?
Yeah, with small waves, not much happening. You have someone blocking you, so it's just like tough
Nothing
to swallow.
You can do. Yeah. I mean, in that situation, you might be able to just paddle like really hard and get it forced into a paddle battle. But in these type of tiny, you know, she's sitting right on top of it. It's good competitive tactics. You know, it's not always nice. You can't play nice in this world. Nice guys got to come last. So they keep telling me. And yeah, Teresa just playing a good competitive game, good smarts, not letting things get away from her. And with 30 seconds on the clock, unless something happens dramatically, she's going to hold on to a hard-fought second. She's grinded out a heat, and that's what you have to do at this stage, because there's not much more in terms of wave action. Get a few scores on the board and then hope for the best. Set approaching again. And she might have to make a decision now, finally. 5 seconds on the clock. And she's going to paddle for this one. This is the end of the heat. So she's done a job. This wave won't be much of a keeper, but more importantly, it kept her opponent off the wave, and she kept second. So, yep, so we've got a finish up there. We might try and see if we can chat to the winner of that last heat, Alice Barton. So we're going to go on hold. We're going to actually make another call at 12 o'clock later on today, or at noon, and we'll reassess the conditions, see what the whether the tides change, whether there's a little bit more bump and swell, and we can finish off the rest of this round, I would imagine, would be the goal. So, yeah, we're going to go and hold, and then we're going to go and sort of, I don't know, do some stretches, have a lovely walk along the beach, maybe have a little breakfast at one of the lovely little restaurants in town. There's so much to do and see in Caparica, so we're going to go on hold until noon, and just gives us a little morning to really enjoy this wonderful part of the world. Alice Barton definitely enjoyed her time here in that last heat. She was busy, and nothing better than getting a win just as the event sort of closes down for a little while. She can rest up, knowing her job is done. As you see, that's a competitive site there. Up the background is the main sort of centre of Caparica, full of shops and industrial like accommodation and hotels. That's our competitions area there on the right-hand side there, socially distanced competitors area. On the left, that's the Estrella Galicia bar. Yeah, we're cold, fresh beer. I mean, that's a little bit early for that, I'd imagine, Francisco, but it's just nice to know that it's there. And Estrella Galicia and Visit Portugal, two of our sponsors that have made this event happen. We've got to say shout out to those guys. Incredible support. They're backing surfing to the hilt, this whole country, by the government and on the independent regions are really backing the sport, and you can see the infrastructure and the work that goes on to this work. But down there on the beach is Alice Barton with Joanna. All yours, Joanna.
Fresh out of the water, how was it?
Yeah, it was super fun actually. I was quite lucky to find a couple of good ones. A little bit nervous against like some of the really good girls, so it's like a privilege to be against them. Just super stoked to get through. Yeah, really excited.
Well, good luck in the next round.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yeah, great interview there. Alice is, you know, she says it's a privilege to be in the event. She's really positive energy there and speaks really well, articulate, and just stoked, I think would be the term to describe how Alice is feeling right now. And she's through to the next round, and so she should. So we're going to go to a break now, and then we're going to wrap it up. We are on hold. Come back live at 12 o'clock, make a call, and hopefully continue on with more action from the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Prepara os teus sentidos, porque vais despertar. Vais ser o primeiro a ouvir, o primeiro a olhar e a tocar. Tu vais ser o primeiro a inspirar e a provar esta nova realidade antes de todos. Agora, primeiro. 5G, vais sentir.
Can I change my answer?
I wish we could take that one back.
Trestles is the perfect place.
Fair point, but I'm going to disagree. It's not a real power surfing wave.
I'm going to throw your power out the window. Watch the hottest debate in surfing only on worldsurfleague.com.